September 11th of 2001. Do you remember where you were on that day? I can remember it was 20 years ago to the day that I was sitting in my first period French class, my senior year in high school. And I can remember as we're getting ready to start our morning work for the day, someone came running into my classroom telling us, we need to turn on the news. Well, again, you got to understand this is a time before smartphones were even invented. And so we turned on the TV only to see smoke and fire billowing out of the North Tower at the World Trade Center in New York. And we had to sit there and watch in horror as video captured the second plane hitting the South Tower just 17 minutes later. It was during my next class that we heard the news that another plane had crashed into the Pentagon and a fourth plane had crashed in a field in Pennsylvania. It wasn't till much later that we learned that the intended target was either the U.S. Capitol or the White House. 20 years ago, this day forever changed the landscape of American society. And on this day, 2,751 innocent people lost their lives. And so on this special edition of the 5-Minute Break, we are going to take some time to search for some hope in the midst of all the darkness. Let's go. Hello, my friend, and welcome to the 5-Minute Break, where we seek to bring you encouragement from God's Word. My name is Dave, and I am your host, and I also serve as the lead pastor at First Christian Church in Arcadia, Florida. So, where were you on this day 20 years ago? We would really love to hear your story in the comments section below. But never in my wildest nightmare could I have ever imagined that the country I love would succumb to terrorist attacks. And on that day, like many of you, I was scared, I was angry, and I was filled with hate. Though it is right for us to want to cry out for justice, and it's right for us to want to battle against those who seek to steal, kill, and destroy, if we are not careful, we will allow the darkness of hate and anger to consume us to the point where we no longer pursue justice, but seek revenge. Instead, we are to be a people who pursue hope. That is why encouragement from God's Word is so vital for all of us. And so at the very end of the Bible, we find the book of Revelation. And in this book, the Apostle John is given the ultimate spoiler alert. John is given a front row seat to see how the ultimate story ends. After all the wars and rumors of wars, after all the disease and death, we are given a glimpse of the final victory that belongs to those whose faith and trust are in Jesus Christ. I want you to listen to what John writes in Revelation 21, verses 1 through 5. He says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. And I saw the holy city, a new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, 'Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and He will dwell with them. They will be His people, and God Himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away.' He who was seated on the throne said, 'I am making everything new.' And then he said, write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. My friend, do not lose hope, because even in the most horrific moments of your life, we have this promise and assurance that we are going to have the final victory. There is a time coming where we will be with the Lord, and there will be no more acts of violence, no more terrorism, no more plagues, and no more pandemics. There will be no sorrow, no war, no death. God is going to win, and we will too. I want to thank you so much for taking a 5-minute break with me. It is hard to believe that 20 years has passed since that September morning. But take heart, my friend, because we have this promise that we will overcome. If you enjoy this video series, please consider becoming a subscriber. Also, like, comment, and even share this video or others in this series with a friend who you know could use some encouragement. And we hope to see you again next time.